We must talk about a very different kind of pain at the moment, that which is going on in LA. Fires continuing to rip through Hollywood. The wildfires in Los Angeles are now reported to have killed at least 10 people. Incredible that it's that low. Of course, we may find that there are other bodies in there. Forecasters warn more high winds may fan the flames further. They are between Santa Monica and Malibu on the city's western flank. There's also the Eaton Fire in the east. They rank as the most destructive in Los Angeles history. Just look at it. And there was never any way, if your house is in the middle of that,
looks apocalyptic.
It really does.
Jeremy,
it stops at the sea. That's where it stops.
You know how with these sorts of stories, they can often feel remote. But lots of people watching will have been to LA, and actually lots of people watching will know people there. And so I checked in with friends who lived there yesterday, just on the off chance that they might have been, and they wrote back saying, we've just lost our home and we've lost our cat.
The scale of the devastation in the city is becoming clear. 179,000 people have had to flee their homes. Many will have nothing left to go back to. So some of the poshest areas, you've just got these shells left of hundreds of houses. So the Sun here has 2 pages and they're calling it Hollywood Apocalypse. With, again, we're back on this slightly difficult territory of A-list actors losing their homes, people like Anthony Hopkins. The disasters all also getting compared to a Hollywood film, which we shouldn't trivialize it, should we? It is about a lot of people, not just A-listers, having their lives changed forever.
Of course, tens of thousands of people who at the moment are being temporarily displaced. They've been ordered to evacuate their homes. Very, very tragically, some have lost their lives. The scale of devastation is absolutely enormous. And what's really frightening is that in some parts of the state, the outskirts of LA, the wildfires are only 0% contained. You know, there is a huge job still underway to try and find ways of containing this and extinguishing it, and that's the immediate problem. But then there's the question of how the state recovers from something like this,
and whether insurers can afford to pay it.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
Yes, it's almost like the subprime crisis where you find that the insurance industry goes down or something because they cannot afford to pay it. It's a very good point. I hadn't even thought of that, Matt, at this stage. I was just listening on the radio this morning to somebody who said that, and this is not anyone living in a mansion, but just someone who said that she had journaled all her life, or she kept very, very complicated, long handwritten notes of every single day of her life, and she had to leave her house at speed. She thought she would get back to it, and it's all destroyed.
So whether you're an A-lister or you're on the minimum wage, your home is your home, and your home contains incredibly intimate and special things.
Yeah. Someone who's been affected firsthand by this is Safia Hall, who has sadly lost her home and joins us now from Santa Monica. Hi, Safia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. I'm so sorry. So you're not obviously in your own neighborhood now, are you? Is that right?
No, we're staying at my husband's brother's apartment, staying on his sofa for now while we figure out what our next steps are.
But you saw the fire start, did you, or just took you by surprise in the middle of the night?
So I was on a Zoom call with work and I looked up and saw all the smoke. And kind of got off the call. We were watching it for a while. We saw the planes come in and start kind of like throwing the water over it. That stopped for a while. And then when we saw the flames coming around the mountain, we just realized how bad it was and that we really needed to evacuate.
This picture,
but we definitely didn't think we would.
The picture we've got now, I think, was taken by your neighbor. Just tell us what we're seeing now.
Yeah, so this is, we could see this from our home. This is a video I recorded of the flames just coming around the corner, and when we realized that we really needed to evacuate.
Yeah, well, it just looks devastated, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's our home.
Oh.
What's left of it. This was just as we were leaving our home.
Are you insured, can I ask?
So they were not offering renters insurance in our area, so unfortunately we couldn't get insurance when we rented. Obviously, we never imagined that we'd lose our home, so we're just kind of navigating that right now and figuring out what the next steps are. And
are you over there temporarily or living more permanently in the States?
I've lived here for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it was our home. It had literally everything we own in it. My mum sadly passed away. She gave me a jewelry box. We had I had a chest of memories that I had in there. We packed up, and for a few days, we didn't think that we would lose our home. We thought we'd just had to evacuate and just get away from the smoke. We just never expected that we'd lose our home.
Yeah, well, I know you've set up a GoFundMe page, and it's Safia Hall, isn't it? The name on it, SAPHIA, and it's already at £20,000. So you've got a lot of friends rallying around, and I hope you get through this, Safia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care. Yeah, it's just, you're right. When you leave at speed, Matt, you leave stuff behind that's very precious and may not have any monetary value. It's sentimental.
Yeah, or your pets.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, people are leaving. It's one thing that I've seen of criticism of is people have run out of their houses and left their dogs. And again, like Safia, not necessarily realizing that this is the last time they're going to see their house or their dog.
I would do everything I could, and not least under strict instruction from my wife, whose dogs they originally were, to make absolutely sure that we got them out. But people can't always get them out. And if you're facing the choice of losing your life or saving your pet, I mean, it's a horrific choice.
And I suspect that there's a surreality to it at the beginning where you almost believe or hope that it's not going to happen to you. So even if you hear about the blazes in nearby neighbourhoods and you pack up your bags, it's not really until the danger is immediate that you take action.
Yeah. And this thing of helicopters dropping water just always looks completely like it's not even going to touch the sides. One of the reasons the A-listers have been affected is because they tend to live in very big homes. They were on a lot of them on a kind of very high outcrop. It's a very hilly city, LA. And obviously you want a view of the sea and a view of forested area. So they were living above this rather beautiful lush forest, but it dried out and then caught fire. So that's what happened.
And look, this is being politicised, of course it is.
Well, Trump says it's Democrats' fault, yeah.
Yeah, on social media, a lot of people blaming the governor of California,
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom. One thing to mention, and there's no evidence that I understand that this is directly caused by climate change, but this is the sort of thing that could happen increasingly if climate change continues apace, and it is terrifying.
So look at that. Look at that. Those are shells of houses. Not a single. I looked at that photo closely earlier. I couldn't see a single house that was still intact in there, or even a house.